Hello, Leo. Welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your December mid-month tarot and oracle card reading. We are going to start right away here with these lovely enchanted holiday oracles. Then we're going to mix it up a little bit with some archetype cards. All right, you have the card of self-care. If not me, then who? To tend to a wholeness, the parts in which surrender thy pulse, for a heart that's nearer than any other. So really putting yourself as a priority. And especially too, if you're running around in the holiday season, looking out for everyone else's needs and running down your own spiritual bank, your own financial bank, your own emotional, mental, physical. Okay, making sure that you're keeping yourself on the list, and that is not selfishness, my friends. All right, now we are going to do something a little different, and we're going to take one card, one archetype to represent your energy first, just at random here, and one that will represent the person or situation that you're inquiring about. Well, this is yours. You've got child wounded, the archetype of child wounded, the light attributes. Awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. So for some of you, if you've had something that you've been carrying and it's been a long time coming to let it go, know that when you let that go, you are free. Now, if you are a healer yourself and you're helping other wounded children, you're in a helping profession. Maybe I heard burn unit, and God bless you if you do that. I mean, something where you're really hands-on in the thick and the throes of traumatic injuries. They're also communicating that. Now, the shadow attributes of this, or aspects, blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. Resists moving on through forgiveness. And we have to be careful not to hold on to those old wounds as some sort of currency or collateral, as some sort of excuse for not changing. And I've known many people. I know a woman, she's up in her upper 60s, never been married, never been happy, constantly talks about child abuse. And honestly, I've met her parents. Nobody in her family corroborates what she says. And I don't know if it's true or not, but I can tell you she still goes to them for money. Okay, and they're like up in their 90s. And it's just sort of interesting. But to live there, she gave her whole life away, if it is true. If it's not true, then that is a whole different animal. I've also known people who have said they're constantly late because their mother or father was late. Well, you're 45 years old. I don't think so. So I feel like it's like letting go of that, because it really just doesn't hold you to who you are. Now you've got what you're attracting is the card of the pioneer. The light attributes of this one are passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. And so you may have a situation that's going to be uncharted territory. You may have a job that you get hired for, or an assignment that's the first of its kind. Now, if you're trying to go into something new, start a business for yourself, you say, I see a need for this. I'm going to do print on demand or some other side gig. I feel like you'll do beautifully with it. Now, the shadow attribute is compulsive need to keep moving on. Okay, so once the novelty wears off, just kind of churn and burn is what I heard. So be careful with that too in terms of moving, because moving is expensive, or even changing jobs prematurely. Be aware of that. All right, detailed Celtic cross reading. I love this though. Okay. Current situation. You have, sorry, that felt so thick, the Queen of Cups. The immediate influence is the Ace of Cups. In my mind, I kept thinking there were two cards there. In your subconscious, you have the Two of Swords, the distant past, the Seven of Swords, the more recent past, the Knight of Wands. The energy coming towards you is the Nine of Pentacles. You're represented by death. The situation you're attracting is the Ten of Pentacles. You've got the Emperor and your hopes and fears. Queen of Wands and the outcome. Now, I am liking for this for you, Leo. You and your own energy and the outcome. Now, this is getting solid. The bottom of the deck, we had 7 and 8 come out together. Okay, so these two, 78 cards here came out together. You and your own energy, plus this energy of the Chariot. Now you have the Hangman here too. And this is technically I think it's the 12th card. Yes, the 12th card. So we had a little gap there. But I'm liking this. There's something about this. The 9 of Pentacles is like you're almost there. The 10 of Pentacles is you've arrived. So I feel like you're coming into an energy that is going to be prosperous. You're going to have a time of blessings. If it is in terms of a move financially, it's going to be very lucrative with this energy showing up. And I also feel like it's going to be on your own terms. Now, in terms of a love relationship, if you're single right now, you got a lot of demand coming for you. So be aware of that. With that 9 of Pentacles, your calendar is going to be quite full. If you get yourself on a dating app, you might need help or support from a friend to sift through this with you, because I feel like you're going to have quite a few people interested in you. It'll almost become like a part-time job. Now, with this Hangman energy, you've got that light bulb moment, that epiphany. And if you've had that going on for a while, where you've had a great idea that you just haven't taken any action on, it's time to do something. That's what they're telling you with this. And the Chariot will drive you forward, where you're almost unstoppable, where it feels like an urgency to act, where you'll say, I'm not going to have another year where I keep wearing this extra 40 pounds. Or I'm not going to have another year where I'm in debt. I'm getting out of it tomorrow. I'm starting it tomorrow. Or I'm starting it today, okay? Where there's like this feeling of this is the plan and I'm following it to a T. I get it, especially with the physical body, that you'll follow it to a T, they keep saying. Now you have 5 major arcana. I don't know if I told you that. You have Cancer, Leo, Aries, and Scorpio here, which is quite a few. So I definitely feel like you're in a place of transformational energy. Now, in terms of a love relationship, I told you you're going to be a popular prospect, but you have one here who really goes the distance, somebody who will listen to you, who really listens when you're talking. They put that phone away. They're not multitasking. They're not trying to be distracted by other things. And so they will pour into you. That's what I hear. They will pour in and invest in the relationship because they know it's important. Now, you do have cards of travel here as well. I'm liking the 2 queens that are here. This Queen of Cups and the Ace of Cups really too brings in a wonderfully unconditional energy. And so you're going to find that things around you seem to soften. If there's been tension, it's going to lift and lighten. That Ace of Cups will have you surrounded by love. You'll notice things, little things. Perhaps you're driving down the street and noticing all the Christmas lights, even if you don't have any up yourself. But you'll enjoy the environment more. You'll just see things and through almost like the eyes of wonder. Now, I mentioned too, if you are in a helping profession, I feel like you're going to have people who will tell you, I could not have done this without you. I don't know what I would have done if you weren't here. And I feel like you get that a lot. You must be a hell of a good person, because that does come in a lot. And it's coming in again through the cards, where you're going to find that people feel like you're indispensable. As much as you have this sort of disposable pioneer energy, I do feel like if you take on something new and do it well, that's when they're going to look at you and say, we want you again. So if you're any kind of contractor, freelance, or anything like that, if you take on a job assignment and it's a job well done, they're going to want more. Okay, they're going to want you to come back. And so with this, ultimately, though, it really is about going into your heart's desires, having a very high level of emotional contentment, satisfaction, and love. Because the Queen of Cups will also take great care of you. If you go to stay anywhere, you have a situation, even at a restaurant, you'll find that they bend over backwards to take wonderful care of you. So this 2 of Swords in the subconscious is an interesting energy. You have to be a little careful about getting caught in the middle of something. I feel like they're telling you just to stay neutral. And if you're finding that you're getting put in the middle of things, it is because of this. So we got to work on it, because you don't want to keep this up. This 2 of Swords is also a bit immobilized. She just sits there unable to move. And so if you're finding that things are getting a little sticky or stuck even, then it's again time to look at this and allow this energy to be released, because you don't want to keep attracting that caught in the middle and that indecisive energy. It'll drive you nuts. So in the distant past, you have the 7 of Swords. Now I also get this too, if it was a betrayal to yourself with that energy that we talked about, child wounded and self-care. If that happens, I feel like they're telling you don't let it happen again, okay? Just make sure you take good care of yourself and don't let anyone convince you that that's somehow wrong. Taking care of yourself, they're wrong if they say that. Because you know why? I'm always on your side. I just feel this connection and energy, and I don't particularly love this for you. So especially if you ran yourself ragged, if you had an employer that you didn't use any sick time and all of a sudden, or PTO, they're saying we're going to cut your hours and the time's gone. You know, that sort of thing where you were loyal and they were not loyal in return. Again, this is shutting the door on this, slamming it and locking it shut. So with this Knight of Wands, giddy up, and I like the Queen of Wands here too. I feel like you're going to get a second wind. If you have been a little tired out, you're going to find that you have sort of this rejuvenation coming on where you're going to feel like, look out world, I can handle it. Bring it on. It's this kind of energy. There's no job too big or too small. You have to be a little careful not to overextend yourself, because with the self-care energy and this one, it can be easy to say yes because you feel invigorated. You feel like you can do it. And so with this Nine of Pentacles, expect money, expect nice gifts. Perhaps for some of you, if you have any kind of a rewards program, I feel like you're going to find some little luxury items that won't cost you a thing. Okay, if you have some kind of rewards, I keep seeing it like it's free coming into you, and you'll say, wasn't that great? I'm so glad I did it that way. So this Nine of Pentacles also is the woman about town. Even if you're a guy, it doesn't matter. It really is a time of feeling luxurious, of getting a lot of attention, of being in demand. And so with the energy of the Death card representing you, don't be scared off by that. It really is a time of coming into your own. Your life begins today. This is like starting the first day of the rest of your life. If you need to turn over a new leaf with something, you're doing it. And you're not looking back. This is huge change coming in. But you leave behind things that just don't serve you. You don't try to resurrect the past here. It's a spiritually transformational energy, and it tells you that great things are on the way. You just don't need to worry about anything you leave behind here. That's the kind of energy this is. So the Ten of Pentacles is the situation or person you're attracting. I still feel like people are going to look at you like you're a gift. Your presence is appreciated. They're grateful for it. And you may have really helped somebody out of a bind, and it shows up here. Now, this is also the Wealth card. So you have both the luxury and the Wealth card. This is also showing an increase in money. So if you make little changes here and there, you go, I'm going to get rid of this and that. I don't really need it. You may find that you end up saving more money than you've realized if there were hidden fees and things like that. And so with this Ten of Pentacles, it also may be more payment or even some sort of a bonus coming in. With the Emperor here, this is such a card of playing by the rules, but you combine passion with discipline. So even during the holidays, if you have a disciplined diet or some kind of an exercise program, you'll stick to it with this, okay? So you can still go out and enjoy yourself, but you don't throw everything out the door for it. This will keep you too on that financially solid beam where you're making good choices with money. You just use a lot of logic in this energy. He's a very big rule follower. So if something isn't by the rules, you may be the first one to speak up in this energy. You won't be shy about it. I can tell you that. So with the Queen of Wands, you're going to be looking your best, feeling confident. Your point of attraction is so high here. They cannot get enough of you. And you also attract loyal people. So if there is some sort of a loophole, and I mean that in the way of it's by the rules, okay? If there's some kind of discount or something like that, they'll offer it to you very easily. There's no manipulating here. In terms of love, it's fiery. You've got chemistry here with somebody and a lot of loyalty. So I definitely feel like their heart is going to be skipping a beat for you, Leo. I love you all, and I'll be back again soon.